What up guys, today we are going to walk through the ThinkorSwim platform and customize your workspace to go from the default style to something that a day trader can actually utilize, use, and benefit from, like this layout. Also, check out the link below and download my latest layout. Even if you're watching this a couple of years from now, you can still click and download the layout. So, if you're going through the video and you have any questions, please leave them below. I will come back and respond to every single comment, and if you think this tutorial will help you out, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Okay, let's get into my ThinkorSwim layout. You guys can go ahead and open up ThinkorSwim and log in by the time I reset my workspace to default. Okay. So, this is the default layout whenever you open up a brand new ThinkorSwim account. This is the main page. And in this video, we are going to do a quick walkthrough and all the different tabs and sub-tabs you see at the top of the screen. Then we are going to go into more details and change the chart settings and appearance. After that, I'll show you how to put on any of your favorite studies and indicators on the charts. Lastly, I'll show you a couple tools like how to build your own custom scanners, watch list, and the on-demand feature. So, let's get started. First things first, on the left side, you have a window that you can hide, you can open, you can adjust the size. And in this window is where you can find your account information, how much cash you have, the available funds for trading. You can also add all sorts of gadgets in this window. We have a mini chart, a watch list, the news, even a trader TV. Let's see if the TV is working on the weekend.
Flash our price target to $70 from that does still obviously imply upside.
Now, I don't want to get any copyright, but you get the point. We have a 24/7 trader TV. You can also delete and switch any gadget you want. Let's delete the news, delete the mini chart. Go to the bottom left corner to the plus sign. Click on it. Now we have a drop menu of all sorts of tools you can add. You can add a calculator. Let's switch that. You can add a scratch pad. You can take notes. Tesla, 290 puts, Apple, earnings, November, whatever. You also have Minesweeper games. You also have a quick chart if you want. But honestly, all I use it for is to just add a couple watch lists. Also, when I show you how to build your own custom scanner, you're going to link the scanner to a watch list and display it right here on the sidebar. So let's change that quick chart to a watch list. Let's add another watch list. Let's go to the first watch list, click on default. Let's go down to the top 10 and choose top 10 NASDAQ. Let's go to the second one, default. This time top 10 active NYSE. Let's go to the last one, click on default, create a watch list, let's give it a name, new one. Let's go down to add a symbol. Let's add the indexes in this one, SPY, add another symbol, the QQQ. You get the point, let's save. Now you have your own personal watch list right here. Moving on, let's hide this window for now. Let's navigate to the monitor tab. Let's go to activity and positions. Now this is where you're gonna see your orders. But since I don't have any positions open, it's empty. But here's an example for whenever I have a position open. It will show you your working orders, your filled orders, at what time you filled, what type is it, buy, sell, limit market, at what price you filled. Also down below you can see your position statements, your tickers, your P&L open, your P&L for the day, also your overall P&L year to date. You're going to spend a lot of time looking at this window. You can also pop it out if you like. That's what I do. I pop it out and display it hidden behind my other charts on my portable monitor. Why hidden? Because psychologically, I don't like to look at my P&L. Nevertheless, moving on, let's navigate to account statement. Now this is where you can export and save Excel CSV files so you can upload them to your online trading journal. I highly recommend you get an online trading journal. Simply go to the three lines on the top right corner, export to file, save. Then you go upload the file to your online trading journal. Moving on, let's go to the trade tab, all products. Let's enter a symbol, QQQ. Now this is where you're gonna find your options chain. You can find your 0-day expiration, your weeklies, your monthlies. You can also go to the strikes drop menu in the middle and choose the number of strikes you can display. You can also go to the drop menu called layout if you want to add your delta, gamma. Now I do have another video talking about the best and fastest way to use options in ThinkorSwim. You guys can check that out, but for now just know that all products is where you're gonna find your options chain. Moving on, let's go to Forex Trader. I don't trade currency. Futures, I don't trade futures. Pairs, I don't trade pairs. Let's go to the Active Trader tab. Now, I see a lot of day traders use the Active Trader tab, but I don't like it. It limits my ability to customize the layout the way I want it. Here's why. If you go back to my screenshot, you can see that I like to display my time and sales right next to my level 2. But under the Active Trader window, it's like it's coded in to fit next to the Active Trader window and above the level 2. No matter what you do, the time and sales is always going to remain to the right of the Active Trader and above the level 2. But I found a better way to customize your layout using the Charts tab and the Flexible Grid sub-tab. But before we get here, let's finish the rest of the tabs. The Analyze I don't use, Scan. Now this is where I'm going to show you how to build your own custom scanners later in the video. Moving on to Market Watch. Here you can view your current alerts. I do have another video talking about how to create alerts in ThinkorSwim. You can check that out. Moving on to the tools. I don't use the tools. Education. You can just go to the TD Ameritrade website or enroll in my course. Then the Help tab. You can just go to Support in the top right corner, create a ticket, and live chat with them. They usually reply within 30 seconds. Now let's go back to the Charts tab. And the only sub-tab we need, the Flexible Grid. This is where you can truly customize your layout any way you want it. You can rearrange any window in any way you like. Basically, your limit is your imagination. And the Flexible Grid allows me to put my time and sales right next to my level 2. Now let's go ahead and bring back the screenshot so we can map out and outline the layout and know what tools we need. So we need 3 charts, the time and sales, the level 2, the news, and the Active Trader window. 7 things. Now let's go back to the Flexible Grid. So in the top left corner, we have the Active Trader. To the right of the Active Trader, we have a chart. Now if you can't see that small box in the middle, simply go to the dotted square in the top right corner and check Customize Grid. Now in order to add another cell, simply go to the box in the middle and select the option with the plus sign to the right. Now we added a cell to the right. Now if you selected the option with a plus sign to the bottom, then you're going to add another cell under that. So again, in the top left corner, we have the Active Trader. To the right of the Active Trader, we have a chart. To the right of that chart, we have another chart. Under that chart, we have another chart. To the left of that chart, we have a time and sales. Let's add another window. After the time and sales, we have the level 2 and the news. Now, if you are checking the sidebar but still can't see the sidebar, all you have to do is just enter a ticker, a symbol. Now, before we move on, let's go ahead and link all the charts together. So remember, top left corner, we have the Active Trader. Let's remove the chart, put the Active Trader, then we have a chart, another chart, then we have another third chart, then we have the time and sales, remove the chart, add the time and sales, then the level 2, and lastly, the news. Now before we go ahead and remove the box in the middle, make sure you uncheck the sidebars. Now to remove the box in the middle, go to the top right corner to the dotted square and uncheck Customize Grid. There we go. Now let's reorganize it a little bit. Alright, so first, let's go ahead and customize the charts because they look horrendous. Go ahead and maximize any chart. Just a quick tip to navigate through the charts, you can left click and drag to zoom, or you can hold Control and scroll to zoom. You can also just scroll without holding anything to go right and left. So first up, let's go to the settings. Let me move that menu so you can see the chart clearly. Go to Appearance, then right away go to the grid and uncheck that. Click Apply, instantly better. Let's go to the background, let's make that black for this tutorial's sake. Now the volume bars, make sure the color as symbol ticks because the blue ones are useless. Everything else is fine. Show wicks, wicks are essential. Fill them down, let's fill them up too. Doji the same, the border the same. And we use regular candlesticks. Click Apply, there we go. Now you guys can use bar charts if you like. You can use line charts. You can use area charts. But all day traders use regular candlestick charts. Moving on, let's go to the Equities tab. Over here, you can choose to show the volume or not. I like the volume, let's keep it. Make sure you check Show Corporate Actions to show the earnings on the daily time frame. Then down below, make sure you check show extended hours and highlight extended hours trading sessions. That way you'll be able to trade pre-market and after hours. Moving on to the options tab, you can do the same if you have options charts. Now let's go to general. Now sometimes your platform has the overlap volume by default. Now I don't like that because sometimes it covers the candles and I can't read the charts. So let's go ahead and uncheck that. Let me go to the chart, zoom out a little bit. Let me go back to the settings now, move the menu. Now in order to remove these ugly red lines, go to the time axis and uncheck show expiration Friday. Let's also remove the yearly markings and the rollover lines, click apply. Now let's go to price axis, go to expansion area, give it 5% up, 5% down. Let's go back to time axis, go to expansion area again. Now give it 10 bars to the right. Now what this does is it gives the chart a little bit of room to breathe. Notice the current price action? Keep looking at the current price action when I click apply. There we go, now the chart has a little bit of room to breathe and it's more clear. Now this feature, keep time zoom, will keep you zoomed in if you change tickers. Now notice I don't have it checked. So if you go back to the chart and I zoom in, but I change tickers, it will zoom out automatically. But if I go back to the settings, time axis, I'm gonna check keep time zoom this time, click OK, zoom in. Then if I change tickers, it will stay zoomed in. So let's leave that checked, go back to settings. Okay, next up, let's navigate to favorite time frames. Here, you can customize a specific period for the time frame you like to work on. For example, we don't have a 3-minute, so you can go ahead and add time frame, intraday, time interval, 5 days, aggregation period, 3 minutes, click add. Now you see on the bottom you have a 5-day 3-minute, click OK, go to the D to change the time frame, and you can see all the way on the bottom 5-day 3 minutes. And now we have a 3-minute time frame. Let's go back to favorite time frames. Now click and drag the 3 minutes and put it under the 1 minute. That way it will be sorted chronologically. Click OK. Let me change time frames for now. And now it's sorted in order. Let's go back to settings, favorite time frames, click on the 1 minute, edit, and make sure the time interval is on 2 days. That way you'll be able to view continuations. Click add. Now here's what I think the most important time frame to edit. It's the daily. Notice if we go back to the daily time frame, it will only show you a year back, which limits your vision. So let's go back to settings, favorite time frames, click on the daily, edit, time interval, and make sure you choose max available. Add, click OK, go back to the time frames, choose the max one this time, and now you can see the bigger picture. You can see the COVID crash, you can see the 2008 and 9 crash, you can see the .com bubble. Basically, you can see the bigger picture. Alright, now that we are done customizing, the charts looks beautiful, but I feel like it's missing something. It's empty and useless without studies and indicators. So let's head over to the studies tab. You can either click on this chemistry flask or go to studies, edit studies. Now since this is the daily time frame, let's go add the infamous 200 moving average. Double click. We just added the moving average exponential to the price, but notice it says 9 right here. So let's go edit the moving average, and wherever it says 9, let's change that to 200. Now since the 200 is an important level, I'm gonna change the width to 2, and blue is fine. Click OK. Now at least we have something to follow, to look at. Let's go ahead and add another study this time. Since we have the exponential, let's add the simple moving average. Double click, edit, make it 200. Now, since this is the simple, let's make it dotted, increase the width, change the color to pink. Okay, another okay. Now we have 2 studies on a daily chart. Let's go ahead to style, save style, tutorial test, daily, check include patterns and study sets, save. Let's minimize this chart. Let's navigate to another chart, click on style, load style, tutorial test daily. Let's do the same with the other one. Now since the top 2 charts are intraday, let's go ahead and add some intraday studies, edit studies, remove the 200 and add the VWAP. Double click, Okay. And now we have the VWAP, but it comes with the lower band and the upper band. So let's go back to studies, edit studies, edit the VWAP, go to the upper band and uncheck show, go to the lower band, uncheck show, go back to the VWAP, let's increase the width to 2, the color to brownish, click OK, another OK. And now we have the VWAP on intraday. Let's go ahead and save the style, save style, tutorial test intraday, include patterns and study sets, save, and let's load it on the 1 minute. Alright, let's choose 1 minute for this time frame. There we go. Now that the charts are done, let's move on to the active trader window. First thing we do is click on that arrow next to the buy market to drop the quantity boxes. Next up, click on that settings icon to add the rest of the buttons that we need. We need the buy the ask, add that, buy the bid, let's add that. Let's remove the cancel and add cancel all instead. Remove the flatten and add flatten now. Now let's add some selling buttons, sending the ask, sending the bid, and click on OK. Now let's reorganize it back to the settings, all the way to the bottom. Select, move up, 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 click OK. Now let's rearrange it. First we have the cancel all, then the flatten now, then sell the ask, sell the bid, sell the market, then buy the ask, buy the bid, buy the market, OK. Now it's neat and clean. Now to change the quantity, just click on any box or use the plus or the minus sign. But to change the increments, you need to head over to the setup on the top right corner, application settings, navigate to the order defaults, and go to the default quantity of orders. Let's make that 1. Let's also make the increments 1. Click apply settings. Now we'll change the amounts. We also change the increments of the plus and the minus sign. Now under the quantity section, we have the template. This is where you can choose single or bracket orders. Let's go back to single. Then we have the auto send box. If you don't have this checked, then a confirmation window will pop out. You need to confirm the order before sending it. If you have it checked, then the order will just fill instantly. You don't need to confirm it. But now in order to trade pre-market and after hours, you need to change the time and force from day to good to cancel. So let's go ahead and add a time and force box. Let's go to the settings, locate TIF, add items, OK. Now you simply change it from day to good to canceled if you want to trade pre-market and after hours. Moving down to the ladder, let's go ahead and click this mini settings icon next to the sell orders, customize. Let's remove the volume, remove the buy orders, remove the sell orders. Click OK. Basically, all I like to look at here is the bid and the ask size. I do have another video talking about everything you need to know about the active trader window. You guys can check that out. Moving on, let's go to the time and sales window. Click on the size. Now click custom size filter. And let's put the minimum 100. That way, those little bitty tiny orders won't distract you and it won't crowd up your tape. And by the way, people who are buying one options contract will still show up on the tape because one options contract is 100 shares. Click enter. Let's go back. Alright, now that we are done customizing the layout and you are ready to take your first trade, but first, let's save your layout so you have a backup just in case. Go to the dotted square in the top right corner, click Save Flexible Grid As, enter a name and click on Save. Now let's go find some stocks for you to pick from and build a couple of watch lists. Let's head over to the Scan tab, go to Stock Hacker. Now here we're going to create a scanner. Let's add a market cap, then add a price, mark is the same, I don't need percentage change, add couple fundamentals, let's add the earnings per share, net profit margin, let's add the return on equity, let's make sure all is year over year percentages, earnings per share, let's see, we need the 10%, net profit margin minimum 20%, return on equity minimum of 5%, market cap, we need small cap, so 250 million to 1,000 million, 1 billion, mark minimum $20 stocks. Now once you're done,